Hello, Soldier Boy here, and welcome to the Red Bull Ring, where we start in the Porsche 911. We managed to set a lap time of a 1:30.821. Only after 2 laps, we didn't have that much time, but it's good enough for 14th place to start with. Now, the Red Bull Ring is definitely a favourite track of mine, and the 911 is generally my go-to car. But something felt different this time. I know a lot of the cars have been nerfed recently, and weight has been added. Braking, it seemed off. There was no confidence in the braking zones. But we're going to start down in 14th and see what we can come up with. Start of the race wasn't too bad. We got off to a decent start. That a little bit of a gap to 13th. We seem to get a worse start. It's generally starting on that last corner isn't favourable to anyone. Closed the gap a little bit at the first corner. Just nearly got a nudge from behind, but just managed to avoid it. As we approach the second corner. And this corner, we're going to see later on in the video. I'm not sure if I'm too aggressive into it or it's fine. I'm in two minds. The beige ahead of us spins, and that gives us a position. We're up to 13th. Just about get to 12th there. Into the braking zone. And I think we take this quite nicely. Managing to hold it. There is a car off on the inside. A little touch on Archer there as we go past. But clean racing so far. And we're now up to 10th. Now here we make a little bit of a mistake. I thought I'd left enough room for Archer. And obviously we got a little touch as we turned in. My fault completely. I just felt there was enough room there and I turned in a little bit too much. I should have given a little bit more. But coming towards the end of the first lap, and we have gained 5 positions from start. And that's not a bad start in the first lap. And on this track, lots more can go wrong yet. We're going to fast forward now, halfway through lap 2. And Archer has caught us back up. And he's going to make a lovely pass on the inside here. Lovely racing by both of us. Plenty of room given this time. And he's going to make the move stick. We're going to drop down to 10th. And Archer moves up. Here though, we're going to unintentionally make a move on Archer. Brake, it just wouldn't stop the car. No matter how much I braked, it wouldn't stop the car. That's completely unintentional. So I'm not taking any gratification for that move. But as we come into the start of lap 3, we're into 9th. It's not going to matter. What we're going to do at the second corner is we're going to let Archer back past. He's closing the gap. He's a pretty quick driver, I found. He's definitely pushing us and trying to keep us honest. Here he is, he's on the inside. We're just going to let him go. We're not going to turn in. We've seen him on the radar, given the position. We didn't mean to make the move earlier, so we're giving it back. I think that's the fairest thing to do. And he doesn't defend the next corner. There's a little bit of contact on the apex. I felt we were at the apex. It was our position. A little spin by Kim ahead. We're up to 8th. So far, good driving by Archer and us, I feel. And we're going to move on to lap 4 now. Second corner, we're going to defend it. Archer makes a lovely move around the outside. Holds it nicely. Didn't think he was going to follow that through, but he did. So he's got the position back. And this is where we make one major mistake. We go into the corner again, and I just couldn't get the car to stop. We nudge Archer off the track, so we're going to stop and let him go back past. This is giving the people behind us a chance to catch up, but we give Archer back the position. Completely our fault. We made the contact, so we give the position back. On to the last lap. Gardner is catching us up. We're going to defend into the second corner. Gardner is going to make the move around the outside. A little bit of a touch, but he's got a penalty. It's not too big a deal. And we're going to manage just about to squeeze past as he ungoes his penalty. And Archer's away now, we're not going to catch him. Felt we did the right thing by stopping. We nudged him off into the gravel. I felt there was nothing else we could have done there other than give the position back. Currently in 9th. There's still a plus from where we started. We started in 14th. Yellow flag ahead. And Nationi has spun there. We're going to take the position. So up to 8th now. As we finish off the race. Definitely not catching Archer. I think we've got a decent gap to Garda now. I don't think he's going to catch us unless he makes a mistake in the final corners. Which we don't. And here we are. We're going to cross the line, 8th place. Decent race. Very good battle with Archer. Thoroughly enjoyed the battle with Archer completely. Well, as I said earlier, the Porsche is normally a go-to car for me, but I just couldn't trust it in the brakes. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Whether it's the nerf or not. But we'll have to accept her 8th place. Archer finishing in 7th. And like I say, a decent race. Now, there was a little bit of contact at times, and yet we get a clean race for it. I'm not entirely sure how clean races are calculated, as there was definitely some contact between me and Archer at times. Nothing major, but there was. I pushed him off at one point, so I'm surprised with a clean race. But on to the second. We're now in the Corvette, and we improved our time, not by much, but up to a 1:30.687. Not fantastic. And again, we struggled in the braking zones. It just seems really weird. It's good enough to give us a 13th place start. Archer from the previous race, 1 place behind us. We upped the brake balance at the start to -4. It was -2 during qualifying, and it just felt like the car didn't want to stop. So we're going to see what we can do in this race. 13th is not the best place to start. And again, we're going to start on the last corner, which is going to, slow us down straight away. Heading into the first corner, Archer is coming up from behind. He's going to make a move into the first corner. We see him coming. Not going to defend it. Don't want to go into him, so we gave him the room, and he's now ahead of us. Now we're going to slow it down here because I'm not sure if I'm too aggressive or it's racing. So, second corner, no one has defended the inside. We are braking, and we are going to take the apex, but we're going to go into Tosdorf, as no one has obviously looked on their radar and saw a car on the inside. The car is understeering. We are going to nudge Archer there onto the grass. Completely accidental, the car just wouldn't control itself, and we get a 2-second penalty. Now, partly deserved maybe for being too aggressive, but we're going to move on to the last lap. And this is where I feel it was a little bit unfair on us. Ratshank has ghosted after his penalty. He's unghosted on the apex as he turns into us. He's going to give us a nudge from behind. And this is the last lap. There is nothing else left to do. We've managed to get ourselves back to a lap, but we're going to gain a second penalty for him unghosting. Now, I don't normally complain about penalties, but the first one, I could say I deserved it for being too aggressive. That last penalty there from Ratshank turning in as he unghosted seems very unfair. Maybe I should have backed out, but it just felt like a really unfair penalty. But we've got to take it. 12th place finish. Nothing we can do. The only bad thing about that, it moved their safety rating down to an A rating. We did gain 1 position in the race in total. Plus point. We're going to move on to the next race. We're in the Aston Martin V12 Vantage, and we set a lap time of 1:29.639, which gave us pole position. Not something we get very often, but I think dropping down to lower B driver rating and the A safety rank gave us this pole position. So we've got to now follow it through. And this race was very straightforward. We're not going to see it all because nothing happens. Just got to make sure we get through the first couple of corners. That's the important part. And we're off. First corner. I do have a tendency for braking too early at the start of a race, so I had to adjust. Got a little touch on behind there. I don't know if I braked early or he did brake late, but there was a touch, but if anything he pushed us forward, so no harm done. Into the second corner, I'm defending straight away. I know someone could be as aggressive as I was in the previous race, so I'm defending this. But Guzzo, round the outside, tries to hold it, but he's got a second penalty. So it's not going to matter. He's going to drop back, and we're going to fast forward. As like I said, nothing else really happened. We managed to build up a lead of over 5 seconds. We actually finished the race just under 7 seconds ahead of everyone else. No excitement, nothing really happened other than the second corner. Right at the start, we were in control the whole time and just gained a lead and kept it out. We don't win very often, so even though it was kind of given to us with the pole position, we had to drive cleanly and consistently, and I think we did that. Confirmation then of our full Monty of a pole position, fastest lap and a first place, and that gives us a 9th ever win, and as I say, we don't win very often. On to the next race. We're still in the V12 Vantage. I know there's 2 different ways of saying it. In the Aston again. We're going to start with the same lap time. This time it starts us 2 seconds behind CEO of Bratisis. Now we've been in a few races with this person, and they have not finished a couple of races for different reasons. You may not have noticed them, they've always been quite near the back, but they've got the pole position. And we're going to see if we can do anything here. As they've got pole position, I'm assuming they're quite quick, but we shall see. Right from the start, try and close the gap early, and I think we got a better start. We seem to close up quite quickly. Braking into the first, I've really had to slam on right towards the end of the braking phase. He went a little bit wide on exit. I don't think we touched him, and we're going to slow it down here again because I'm unsure if it's my driving style being too aggressive or he's at fault here. But as we approach the second corner, he doesn't defend. So in the last race when we had pole, we defended this corner because we knew someone would make a move. He doesn't defend. But we're going to get to the apex before he does. And he turns in on us. Now, am I being too aggressive and I need to change my racing style? Or is that a fair move on my part? It doesn't matter either way. Because, as you're about to see, we're going to get a 1 second penalty for that move. I don't feel I was too aggressive. He left the door open. I made the move, but we're going to take the penalty. And after the penalty, we couldn't catch it. We stayed in second. The penalty didn't really affect us. We stayed in second, and we are going to finish in second place. We just couldn't catch up with him. We made a couple of mistakes towards the end. Had a half-second penalty, but we just couldn't close that gap. I do feel like the penalty at the start was a little bit unfortunate. As I say, I felt, watching it back a couple of times, I felt we could hit the apex first. He should have yielded, given space. As everyone knows, you should always give space. But was I too aggressive? That's the question. And the more times I watch it, I'm still in 2 minds. Confirmation of our second place. that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments, whether we're too aggressive into turn 2. Maybe we need to change how we drive and our driving style. I'm still in 2 minds, like I say. Watching it back, I'm not sure whether I'm too aggressive. The next gift card video should be out on Sunday, all being well, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.